believe it or not. And we used to go over there and get crack cocaine and come back to our apartments and sell them to everybody. So all of my little friends, all of their parents were smoking crack. And quiet as it said, so was I. 11 years old. And I say that because some people, they say weed's a gateway drug and alcohol, and say it is, but for me it was crack cocaine. And I crossed the invisible line at a real young age and didn't even know it. I was having sex with older women, thought it was cool, it was fun, right? But see, that opened my whole world up to some other stuff. I stopped applying myself in school. Kids my age were playing video games and stuff. I was stealing bikes, taking people's jackets, taking hats. You know what I mean? I see your shoes, I want them, I'm taking them. You know what I mean? Because everybody I ran with was older. And it would be funny to them to watch this little kid walk up to somebody and sock them in the mouth and then go back to the crowd where all my older guys were. I see at a real young age that that's what I was identifying. I was trying to get attention by doing all the wrong things. By getting attention, I ended up getting detention. You know what I'm saying? I found myself in principal's offices, man. I took this kid's jacket and they finally arrested me for a strong arm robbery. Right? 12 years old. Right? My mom was crying, man. But see, I didn't know I affected her. I thought it was all about me. Taking my mom back and forth to juvenile hall court, man. My older brother, he had stabbed somebody in the neck and was doing a long time as a youth. My dad was in and out of jail. My sister, was so much of a normie that first guy she got with, they bounced, So I had this big house to myself, and I ended up being in the system. I did about 90 days in the system. I got out. And anybody of you guys, don't raise your hand, ever been to juvenile hall? And you want to get out, right? And you're getting out, and you know that it feels good to be getting out, right? But you also know that you're going to come back. Right? I'm here to tell you that you never have to feel like that again. You never have to go back to jail if you don't want to. It's a straight choice. I didn't know that. I thought that's the way it was, and that's the way it was always going to be. So speed it up a little bit. This girl that I was with, right, my girlfriend, although I was sleeping with 4 or 5 other girls on the side, right? I didn't know that was a committed relationship when I say you want to be with me. I thought you want to be with me means like right then. But to her, we was together, man. And when she came to me, it was like, hey, she was 15 and I was 16, and I was active, man. I was doing everything under the sun, man, and older people would come to me to get drugs and stuff like that, and I turned my mom's house into the spot, you know what I'm saying? And police, I was on all the police radar, you know what I mean? And this girl came to me and was like, I'm pregnant. And I was ironing my Dickie pants back then. I was wearing Dickies. I was ironing my pants, right? And she says, I'm pregnant. I turned around. I said, from who? She said, I ain't no hoe. I'm pregnant by you. And I said, well, what are you going to do about it? See, I thought that was cool. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that she was a little girl just like I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Up against some tough decisions, and she was all by herself now. And I said, well, I got penitentiaries to go to. I don't know what you're talking about. I got stuff to do. Because in my mind, I already knew where I was headed. I wanted to go to prison. Because guys from my neighborhood, guys from where my relatives, they would all get out of jail and be walking around and shit all proud, like they just achieved something, like they just got out of college. And really, they just got out of Santa Rita, San Quentin, Folsom. That is not the winning circle, folks. But that's what I was attracted to. That's what I saw. And I would see how people would treat them. Oh, that's the big homie. Oh, he just got out. All this, all that. And I would see how they would gravitate towards him and do stuff for him, And in my mind, that's what I wanted to do. And I moved. We ended up losing our house. The police came to our house and gave my mom a summons and said, you guys have to leave this city. Not this neighborhood, this city. So I moved right down here, Smalley, right here, right behind this dude right here. And in the daytime, we had housing, we pulled in, and my mom was like, oh, it's so quiet around here, it's nice, right? We didn't know everybody was asleep. for partying all night, you know? So what happened was, you know, I fit right in because that's where I come from. Because every city got a neighborhood, right? But to me, like, Hayward was wide open. You know what I mean? So, I mean, so I have to say that, you know, I abandoned my daughter. I abandoned my daughter, man. And that is a form of child abuse, man, for those of you guys don't know. I abandoned my little girl, man. And I ended up getting arrested on my 18th birthday, right over here, with a bundle full of stuff. And I was with this 40-year-old dude. They take me to jail, let him go, right? Right? And I go to Santa Rita. First time I go to Santa Rita. Now, you guys all hear Santa Rita. That's where the big boys are at. I always heard growing up the old Santa Rita, mob bringers and all that stuff, right? But when I got to Santa Rita, it was the new Santa Rita. When I get to Santa Rita, there was some fear jumping off because I don't know what to expect. But right when they open up that gate, and you walk in, and to me, it looked like dog kennels, man. Right? Gates all the way down. And you see nothing but men in there. And I hear, Javier, hey, what's up, boo? Hey, what's up, man? Oh, that's where everybody's at. Oh, you're kicking it. My brother was in there. I had some homies from the neighborhood, guys that I grew up with. An uncle was in there. I mean, they were in there. So to me, it wasn't a consequence anymore. Although I had that feeling of getting out and not wanting to go back, but I also knew that eventually I was going to. I got out of jail. I went right back to the same neighborhood I just left. Went right back to the same associates, not friends. Picked up them same drugs, started committing the same crimes, and within 2 weeks, I'm back in Santa Rita wondering what happened. I did 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, all in 1 year. And when I was 19 years old, I stole a car, and I went back to my old neighborhood to show them guys how I wasn't doing. And I got a huge high-speed chase throughout Fremont, Newark, Union City. They locked me up for 3 years for that. All I did was didn't want to get pulled over. Now, my father, he drank himself to death. I'm Mexican Native American. My dad was very proud Native American, and he was okay with drinking himself to death, man. As unfortunate as that sounds. His uncles, his dads, everybody he knew drank himself to death, and that's what he did. My mother was so in love with my father, she did everything that he did. But she knew we was off the hook, so she bounced to Reno. And my sister was a normie. She had bought a house somewhere here in Hayward. She wanted nothing to do with us, really. So I felt like I was abandoned, man. My brother was in and out of county jail, so every time I got out, he was in, or I was in, and he was out, you know. So where was I at? On the street, with the homies, with whoever I hooked up with. You know what I mean? I get with a girl, get my girlfriend now. You got a cell phone? We got a cell phone. You got a car? We got a car. You got an apartment? We got an apartment. And I would live like that, man. You know? And I would go back and forth to prison. I've been to 7 penitentiaries in California. When I got to prison the first time, I'm in the upper yard of San Quentin. Now, mind you, remember I told you where I wanted to go, right? I'm in San Quentin like, woo, we made it, boo. I'm in there with my older cousin, and he's 40 years old, I'm 19, and I told him we made it, man. We in San Quentin, boo. Ooh, it's going down. He looked at me like that was the stupidest thing he could have ever heard. We in prison, man. I said, oh, man, wait. Just wait. I raised my hand for all kind of stuff, you guys. Him, I'll stick him. Her, I mean, not her. Well, there was some hers in there, but they're him, you know. But I'll carry that. I'll do that to him. I'll ruin his whole life. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll do this. I'll do that. Next thing you know, I'm finding myself doing more time by myself. When I got out, I thought my homeboys, the guys that I was doing work for, was going to give me an apartment, give me a car, give me some fits, at least buy me some shoes. Wrong. None of that happened. You think one of them went by my mom's house and knocked on the door and was like, hey, Miss Jimenez, you need some milk? You know what they was doing? They was having sex with my baby mama, man. Just saying. That's what happens. Right? That's what happens. Because I've done it too. I've done it too. Come on, man. So what I'm saying is that I get out of prison, my crimes increase, my drug increase. I didn't like the person I had became, so I was doing a whole lot of other stuff. You know, Not really going to get into all that because that's not what I'm here trying to share with you guys. What I'm trying to share with you guys was that I was lost. I had a hole this big in my stomach, and I couldn't fill it with nothing. Drugs, women, nothing. I couldn't fill it with nothing. I had got jumped, getting out of Susanville, right behind this fence right here. Me and my homeboy were walking from somewhere, and 9 rival gang members ran up on us, and they almost beat me to death with 9 baseball bats. They split my head. See all that? Right there, my elbow, my chin, my jaw, from head to toe. You think that was the bottom? Nope. When I recouped, I went looking for them. I've been stabbed 9 times, rival gang members. Once in the face, brick, broke my nose, knocked out my tooth, stabbed me 4 times here, 4 times in my lung, and left me for dead. You think that was the bottom? No. I went looking for them. High-speed chases, fights with the police, psych wards. Yes, I've been there. Because the cops were saying, well, you cannot do all this stuff and be sane. You must be crazy. So I found myself in John George 2 or 3 times. PCP overdose, fights with the police, kicking out police car windows, stuff like that. But anyway, I'm sitting in a stolen car over here by you know where Russell City's at? I'm over here by Russell City, by Chabot College behind here. And I pray to God. I said, God, please help me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm tired of this stuff, man. My whole crew was wiped out, you know. I had nothing. And I was praying to God, help me. And he sent a cop car my way. Now I come to realize that there's 2 ways, there's 2 wheels. And I say that because there's your own will, the own way you think, you know, you want to do things and stuff. And then there's God's will. And I'm not religious, right? But when you do your own will, you suffer nothing but consequences. And when I surrendered to his process, to the right things, for the right reasons, for the right people, guess what? I reap nothing but benefits, man. And what happened was I was praying for God's will to be done and didn't even know it. He sent a cop car my way to help me, and I took it right back. I took him on a high-speed chase again. I almost wrecked into a bunch of little kids crossing the street. I ran up on the sidewalk, almost hit a bunch of college kids. They weren't doing nothing. They was going to school, almost killed all them. I ran up and busted into a bunch of people that were driving. I tried to get away, and finally my car stopped. I got out, flipped everybody off, and I left my gun and my belt at the motel room. That's only by the grace of God. Because when I was running, I was holding up my pants, right, because I had no belt. But when I'm running, it looked like I got a what? A gun, and they shot at me. And I hit the corner, I put my hands in the air, I lifted my shirt up, and they came around the corner, and the sheriff had his gun right in my face, and he said, get on the ground right now, you use your vehicle as a weapon, I'm going to shoot you. And I had a moment of clarity. I knew that he was going to kill me, and would have been justified, and I would have probably been in an article in the paper probably about this big. Gang member, ex-convicts gets killed running from the police. That's probably all I'm saying. If that. So the day I got arrested was my daughter's birthday. You think God was trying to get my attention? So I ended up going to Santa Rita. And mind you, you know what I mean, I'm up there in the gang, the status, you know what I mean? So I'm in there, and people are coming towards me, asking me this and telling me that and all this stuff. And when I went to court, they told me 8 years. 8 years for what? All I tried to do was get away. I had 7 felonies and 4 misdemeanors. When I came back to the pod, you know, I had a visit. And by doing as much time as me and Aaron has done, people stop coming to see us, man. You know, they might send you a letter here and there, answer a phone call, you know, but when you're doing years, man, they stop coming to see you, man. You know what I mean? So when I got a visit, I didn't know if it was baby mama, the feds, probation, parole. You know, I didn't know who it was. I was running from everybody, you know? So the sheriff came and said, hey, I suggest you take this visit. And I go out there, and it's my older brother. Now, mind you, he went to a drug program because they offered him 8 years in the penitentiary or a drug program. He chose the drug program. He's been clean ever since. Right? Matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, Sunday he celebrated 10 years, man. We're going to have a big old party for him on Saturday. But what happened was he came to see me. He's my older brother, right? He came to see me, and he's shaking his head at me, man. He's mad, you know. I go, what's up, man? He said, you think this is a game? I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, they try to kill you, man. Did you ever think about anybody that you could have hurt too? I said, I don't know. He said, man, just don't say nothing, man. Just hear what I got to say, man, and do what you got to do. And mind, this my older brother, so of course I'm gonna listen to what he got to say. Anybody else talk to me like that, it's on, right? So he goes, why don't you go to a drug program when you get out of here? Drug program? What you talking about, drug program, man? They're for weak cats, man. I don't do all that. He said, listen, man, it ain't for nobody weak, man. It's for the strong. Try getting up every day, man, and doing life struggles, man, day in and day out, not taking nothing. Huh? Try that. You want to be hard? Do that. He said, go to a drug program and get some life skills because you don't know how to live, man. You ever lock a dog in the backyard for a long time and it gets out and it's like all over the neighborhood and you got to chase it down and shit, right? That's how I was. I was reduced to animal-like type, living behavior, man. I was on survival mode for a long time and didn't know it. And he said, I've obtained a lifestyle I never thought possible. He said, I surrendered to another process, man. He goes, I'm getting married. I got all my kids back. I got a couple lowriders. I'm working, and I'm happy. He said, if you go and do whatever time you got to do, and then go into his program, he goes, they'll help you. If not, your misery will be refunded to you, man. And I knew how it was for me, so everything I ever did hit me. I don't want a part of that no more. Because I knew if I continued to do what I was doing, I was either going to kill somebody, they were going to kill me, and do the rest of my life in the penitentiary like most of the guys that I knew. Or get clean. It was the last thing I tried, the first thing that ever worked. I ended up going to the judge like about 7 months into my sentence, man, and I told the judge, I said, you know what, let me get a year county, which I've never done. Let me get 5-year felony probation. To them, that's like a setup. Oh, you're going to go back out and do the same thing and get me back in here. I was done. I had a made-up mind to change a heart. I said, let me fill out this sentence, man. Let me deal with parole, and let me find a program. Program? They all laughed at me. You mean a program? You mean a program? I said, I need help. He said, you know what, you're going to go do this minimum of 3 years in the penitentiary. Have a nice day. I said, Your Honor, wait, I need help. He said, you're the only person who ever asked for help. People just go in there and they give whatever they get. Nobody ever asked for help, he said. He's been in our bench 18 years. Nobody ever asked him for help. He gave it to me, man. When I finally got out, I went to my parole agent. And she said, you know what, come in here. I want you to sit in here and look at all these people. There's about 8 parole agents sitting there. Now, I thought they knew about some stuff I did that I had got away with, you know what I mean? She goes, these are all the parole agents that you had over the years that never saw you before because all you did was run. She said, you ready to go back to jail? I said, God willing, I'll never see that place again. I'm done. She said, well, what you talking about? I said, I need a program. Program? What you want? Delancey Street, Cura? Those are like the long-term 2-5-year program. I said, yes, right now, back to back. Let's go. What do you mean? People get clean or want to do something different, but they want to get the minimum amount of effort. They want the maximum amount of results with the minimum amount of effort. 45 days, 90 days. They think they're going to battle a 2, 5, 10, 20-year addiction with 45 days. It's a lifelong process for me. I needed 5 years, 2 years, somebody behind me with a whip. Stay clean. You know? I'm just saying. So I already knew that in my mind because I knew what I was going to go back to. Everybody that I know from my previous lifestyle are either dead, locked up in prison, or walking the streets lost in their addiction, or clean. So she said, you know, there's a program down the street in Hayward, over here on Medford, and that deals with parolees. And you went there before, it didn't work out, so good luck. I'm the assistant program coordinator of that program today. When I graduated the program resident of the year, I never finished nothing. I got an ID when I got there. To me, that was some big stuff because I never had an ID before. Because I never wanted the police to know who I really was. I got a social security card. What am I need that for? I'm not working, I'm putting in work, I'm thinking. Right? I got a driver's license. When I got a driver's license, man, and I'm a man up, man, and because I'm being totally honest, I started to cry. because I knew in my heart that I never had to get another high-speed chase again. I started to feel part of society that I never felt a part of before. I got a little job. Even though everybody was using on the job, you know, they were smoking weed. OJ, you want some of this? I said, man, if I take any of that, I'm robbing all you guys, man. Don't give me none of that. You know? I wasn't hard, I just didn't care. You know what I mean? But I started to care. It was like an onion. It peeled all the layers off, and I started to get in touch with who I really was, man. You know, I wasn't hard, man. All the guys sitting in the back, oh, trying to be all tough. That's all insecurities, man. You know what I mean? I know what I've done. I know what I participated in. I'm here to tell you guys right now, I don't want to do it anymore. You know what I do, though? I went back to school. I got some letters behind my name because I never finished nothing. And I wanted to help out people that were just like me. I started an outreach program in Oakland. You know, they had 38 assaults this weekend in Oakland alone. And that's but with guns. From the ages between 16 and 25-year-olds. 38 assaults with handguns this weekend alone in Oakland. And she didn't even get into I got an email. She didn't even get into the 30-year-olds yet. We're killing each other, man. People killing you, they look just like you. People killing you, look just like you. Straight up. You know why they're killing each other over? Nothing. I went to a kid's funeral 2 months ago. You know what he got murdered for? For saying what? 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 Bam! Blew his head right off. He got killed for saying what? You know? And though I feel in my heart the only people that are going to make an influence or an impact, right? God bless you guys' hearts back there, the authority figures. You know what I mean? If I would listen to y'all, I wouldn't be up here right now talking. But I think that, you know, who's going to be instrumental in our own neighborhoods is us, man. If you guys get, you know, man up and go back into your neighborhoods, man, and tell the guys, you know, what not to do and what worked for you, man, that's what's going to start changing stuff. Because that's what I do, and I know I'm making a difference. It's a little bit, but I got about 8 people on my team that love, you know, that love their own neighborhoods and are from where they're from, and they want to go in and make a difference, man. And I took time out of my schedule to come out here and tell you guys that there's another way to live. I've obtained it. I have a nice house by the marina. I'm married. When I got with my wife, she had 3 kids that didn't have a dad. They got a dad now. My older son graduated high school yesterday. I went and got reunited with my other daughter, you know, and that's still kind of rocky, but I'm working it out. You know, I ain't throwing in no towels, man. You know, I've worked, as of last week, for 3 programs. I work for 1 now, because I need to start doing some stuff for me. I have cards that are available if any of you guys want some mentorship, because I do youth intervention also. You know what I mean? I mentor kids, you know, because I know today it ain't all about me. It's about, and I do it for free. I'll charge no money. You want to talk to me, dump some stuff on me, I'll give you some good advice, call it a day. That's what I do. And that's how I get so caught up with all these kids, man. I go to so many funerals, man, because these kids think that they want to do it their way, or a way that their homeboy told them was cool, and next thing you know, they're both up looking at life sentence. Because you had a gun, and you want to go handle something, and I'm your homeboy, so I'm going to go with you, right? You take care of the business. I don't say nothing because I don't want to be no rat. We both get arrested. Guess what? We both going to do the time for what you did. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to tell you guys, man, I don't know none of you guys, but I love you, man. I want to see all you guys succeed, man, all right? And as long as I fall this way, I ain't got nothing to fear, man. I'm here.
All right, I'm going to give you a totally different scenario. I'm going to talk about some other stuff. And me and Javier, you know, I don't have friends no more, man. My friends are my family. Because I've learned how to have real friends. Not to follow those friends that you know, they look cool. You kind of want to be like them, you know, but, you know, like he says, they'll act your baby mom. You know what I'm saying? In a heartbeat, you know? So, again, my name's Aaron Evans. I'm a drug addict, straight up. an alcoholic. I had problems with sex, violence. Through my life, I found in the end that I had a problem with myself. And some of the stuff I want to talk about some insecurities, about feelings. Like, I'm very clear how you feel inside. I'm very, very secure. I'm clear that I know exactly the way that you feel. If you sag your pants down and you hold them up with your hand trying to walk it down, I know exactly the feeling inside that you're feeling and why you're doing what you're doing. Because I'm not so different. I didn't sag my pants, but I did a lot of other things in my life for the attention of wanting to fit in with a Christian. You know, don't know why you're doing it, but just like, I just want to fit in because they're doing it. You know, I've been there. Insecurity based. Nobody came to my high school talking about insecurities. I never even heard that freaking word until I was in my freaking 30s, man. I wish somebody would have said something about it, taught me what insecure is. Because boy, I was suffering bad. I grew up in this town. I know every freaking all this shit. I was a career drug dealer for 40 years of my life. I hope I don't look that old, but not 40, probably 30. I started selling dope when I was about 10. I grew up on Tennyson. That's where I grew up. All you guys know what I'm talking about. So, when I was little, you know, like a lot of us, man, we have somebody in our life. It could be a neighbor, it could be a cousin, a brother. There's somebody in our life when we're little that we're like, man, he's the bomb, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, when I was really little, my brother was the shit, man. You know what I mean? And, like, his car was held tight. You know what I'm saying? And my dad built it for him. It was all hot rod. And his hair was held tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a little buck, you know what I mean? I'm like, knee-high to a grasshopper. I'm like, damn, it's hella tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my brother, you know what I mean? He raced motorcycles. He was sponsored. He could do a wheelie all the way down the street on the motorcycle. And everybody was like, oh, you got it. Yeah, you know? And I had cousins that had tight hair. They wore tight-ass Levi's, you know what I mean? But I'm just a young buck. I had the little square on my knee, you know what I mean? Little Tuscans and shit. You know what I mean? I got the hand-me-down